are. Hello? We're home.
Morning, girls. How was your weekend?
How were you? Oh, we had a great time, didn't we? We went to Solvang, and we went looking at Christmas ornaments, and we picked out this one. Samantha did. Isn't that beautiful? So why don't we keep that? We won't play with that, because it's a little delicate.
Okay. I'll put it away till we get the tree.
Thanks, Rosa. Okay, you. Come here to your mother. Oh, I had such a good weekend with you. Thank you so much. I can't wait to do it again. And will you be a good girl at school today? Yes. And will you take care of Daddy, please?
Mommy.
What?
When are you and Daddy gonna be married again?
Does this mean you want to continue our allegorical discussion on dog friendships?
No.
Oh. Well, I hate to tell you, but if you've misplaced your animal again, I'm not responsible this time. What is it? Is it BJ? Did the verdict come in?
No, it's something else. I have some information about your mother's husband that I think you should know about. Coffee?
No. Thanks.
God, what are you going to do with all these cookies? There must be 10,000 of them there. Huh?
Well, I could take them to the Santa Barbara mission, and they can hand them out.
Well, they smell so good, maybe we ought to box them and sell them, huh?
Yeah, really. We could call them cop cookies. Well, I mean, Jody's a cop. Well, she was, and cop means to steal. Those cookies are so good, you want to steal them, so you cop the cookies. It's a cop cookie thing. Help me out here, guys, come on.
I think Reese needs some sleep.
Come on, sweetie. Come on, it'll help take your mind off.
Come on over and cop a cop cookie.
Jury's been out so long.
I know, honey.
I always heard that's a bad sign. The longer a jury deliberates, the more likely they are to come back with a guilty verdict.
No, that's not true at all.
I mean, I agree, sweetie. I mean, it's a very complicated case. The jury has a lot of things to consider. Of course they're going to take their time.
You're a good cheerleader, Mom. I guess we'll find out soon, huh? Oh, I guess that's for me. I'll get it.
Sweet.
Daddy.
Yes. It's a reporter from the Bulletin. Look, we haven't heard anything. About what? No, we hadn't heard that. And no, she doesn't have any comment.
You hadn't heard what, Joe?
The press has found out that the jury's asked to see the transcripts on BJ's Rachel Ann series.
Well, is that good or bad?
Oh, that's good. Those articles were beautifully written. That only means that the jury has to believe that you were sexually abused.
I agree, but what worries me is that if they're still so undecided that they need more evidence...
Well, I'm more worried about a hung jury.
Does that mean I'd have to go through this whole nightmare again?
No. The jury just wants to make sure that there's no stone unturned. They want to get their hands on every piece of evidence that they can. You see, BJ, I was watching their faces during the trial. They're on your side.
It's okay. You don't have to pretend for me. I know you're just as worried as I am.
What did you find out?
Apparently, Ken Mathis is in love with the state of holy matrimony. He's been married.
I know. He told my mother that.
Did he happen to mention the second one?
What?
He's been married twice. And I hope to God that this third one is the charm.
Why do you say that?
Because the first two are dead. No, I'm not saying anything to do with it. Could be coincidence.
Well, I certainly hope so. God. I don't... So many things have happened to my mother since she's been married to Ken. I mean, it was the night that she fell and hit her head and he was nowhere around. And then Reese told me later that he was at Andy's house. And there's those pills that she's been taking. And then last night, how she acted at the Oasis really scared me because I've never seen her behave this way before.
Those negative bites add up real fast.
I think I'd better go over there. I need to talk to my mother and see what's going on.
Okay, would you like me to come with you?
No, thank you. I need to have a one-on-one with her, I think.
Well, okay. So goodbye.
And why do you say that?
What?
Goodbye.
Because I'm leaving.
Well, does that mean that you're leaving my house or you're leaving this town?
Well, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Anyway, good luck with your mother. And if you need some help, give me a call.
So you'll be around.
Well, if I am, and you need me, call me. That's what I meant.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, I know I thought you were overreacting at first. But now I think you're right. You keep an eye on Ken.
Sweetheart, Mommy and Daddy are still married?
Then why don't we live together?
Because you see, Samantha, when Mommy and Dad are working on the same thing, this big trial we're working on, we aren't allowed to discuss it with each other.
This is hard to understand, but Daddy's the judge, right? Mommy's the lawyer. We're not allowed to talk to each other till the trial is over, which is why Daddy lives here and why I'm living at Aunt Kelly's. And you don't understand anything I'm saying, do you? It's okay. The point is it will be over soon, and we'll be just like we were before, won't we?
Rosa!
Yes?
Would you please take Samantha into the kitchen to give her some breakfast before she's off to school? All these questions have made her very hungry, haven't they?
Come along, mi amor. I have your favorite breakfast just waiting for you.
Mason, why didn't you answer me?
I don't know, Julia. You are a lawyer about to become a judge, and I'm a judge about to be unemployed.
Don't be melodramatic. A man with an international conglomerate at his disposal is hardly unemployed.
Nevertheless, it will not be an easy change to face. We shouldn't even be talking about it, Julia. The gag rule applies until the trial is over, which means until there's a verdict.
To hell with the rules, Mason. I think we need to talk. There's obviously a problem
Julia,
here.
I am very tired. And frankly, I don't know if I still care.
What are you doing?
If I'm found guilty and I have to go to jail, these are a few things that I want to have with me. Would you mind bringing them to me when I get settled?
I want you to quit talking like that.
Warren, please. I love you for the faith that you've had in me. It's been the only thing that's gotten me through all of this. But if prison is inevitable, then I'm gonna have to deal with it. If you really want to help me, then just help me accept it.
Damn it, BJ, I can't accept that. And I won't.
All right, Rosa, what is it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, then. Why don't you just go about whatever it is you have to do?
Yes, sir.
Rosa, there's obviously something on your mind. What is it?
How dare you treat your wife like that? Julia needs for you to tell her you love her, and what do? Torture her. Frankly, my dear, I don't know if I care anymore. Let me tell you something, Mason Capwell. You're acting like an arrogant, chauvinist jerk.
I don't appreciate the fact that you were eavesdropping.
I didn't have to eavesdrop. I could hear everything you were saying. And I know everything that goes on in this house. Mason, you've been jealous of Julia ever since she won the election. And you're using it against her. Punishing her for winning by refusing to tell her you love her. Oh, you should be ashamed.
Subject is not open for discussion.
Ha! How many times have I heard that? Ever since you were a little boy. Whenever you knew you were wrong, it was, I don't want to discuss it. Well, you're a grown man, and you have a wife and a child who need and love you. So it's time to grow up.
Just out of curiosity, for whom did you vote? Yeah, I thought so. When I heard you call me a chauvinist, arrogant jerk, I figured it out.
Sweetheart, I know you've got a hangover, but there's some things we have to go over, okay? All right, what about using this fabric company, Moda Gioventù in Milan?
Yes, I want to do that. Capricci lives in Milan. He's done most of our designs for next season, so I think it's a good idea. He could just test those fabrics and see how well they can be used. I'd like to make a deal with him for about a year.
All right, that sounds great to me.
Oh, no, I have to call Capricci. I have to talk to him about the spring line.
No, I'll do it. I owe him a phone call and an apology for pressuring him when we had lost our sketches. I'll get it.
I don't want to talk to anybody, please.
All right. Morning, Kelly. Hi.
Hi. Is my mom here?
Yeah, but she's not feeling too well.
Kelly! Kelly, come in.
Hi. How are you this morning, Mom?
I'm just really awful. And I hope that my behavior last night wasn't as bad as the way I feel today.
I guess you don't remember.
Uh-oh. It really was awful then, wasn't it?
Some things are best forgotten.
I'd like to speak with you, Mom. Alone?
Kelly, you're talking in front of Ken. I have no secrets from him.
Well, maybe you should reconsider, because it seems that he has a few. Would you like to tell her, or shall I?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You know Ken's been married before.
Kelly, I think I told you this once before, that Ken and I discussed our pasts completely with each other before we got married.
Well, maybe not completely. Maybe he just told you about the first wife, or possibly the second.
What are you getting at?
Ken hasn't been married just one time. He's been married twice.
You want to take Rachel Ann with you?
Yeah. Poor baby. She saved my life so many times, you know. I took all that pain that Frank caused me and I gave it to her. And then when I was ready to take it back and face it, she inspired me to write about it. I don't think that I could live without her. It's pretty silly, huh?
No, sweetie, that's not silly at all.
Oh, look. Look at these. You remember when that was taken, Reese?
No.
Florida. Yeah, the police force threw a picnic for all the families in the department.
Hey, we won the three-legged race that day, didn't we?
We sure did, sweetie.
And Mr. Thedwick. Sawyer gave you this the first Christmas he understood about giving presents.
Mom, if you're gonna get all emotional, I'm not gonna let you help me pack.
Honey, I just want to apologize for trying to convince you to plead guilty. We were all trying to protect you the best way we knew how, and it seemed like all the evidence was against you, and I just want to say I'm sorry for not having the faith in you Warren has.
Mom, please forgive yourself. Because I do. You were doing what you thought was right, and at the time I agreed with you. I love you, B Jay. And you'll never understand how much until you have children of your own. But not a minute has gone by since the day you were born that I wouldn't have laid down my life for you.
And that goes without saying for me, too, B Jay. I think you know there's not a thing in this world that your mom and I wouldn't do for you. And when that verdict comes in, we're all going to face it together. And if, heaven forbid, the news isn't good, then we'll appeal. And I'll do everything in my power to make sure the courts understand what happened to you. And if that's not good enough, then I'm going to get a job in that prison, and I'm going to be a guard, and I'm going to make sure you're protected.
Thank you, Daddy. I love you.
I love you, too.
If that does happen, and if I do have to go to jail, it would be comforting to know that you'd be close by. But don't be a guard. You'd look terrible in the uniform.
Everybody's a critic, huh?
Oh, listen, I think that I'm gonna try to find Warren. I may not have a whole lot of time left, and I'd like to spend it with him.
Well, you go ahead and do that, but just remember to let us know where you are in case the verdict comes in.
Yeah, I will. Okay. I'll call you as soon as I find Warren.
Thanks, sweetie.
She loves me again.
No, Joe, she's always loved you. She just had a hard time showing you, that's all.
I've missed her so much in these past few months. It's so nice to have her back again. Just when she could be taken away.
If what you say is true, then I'm sure Ken has a very good reason for not telling me.
Well, I'd like to hear why. I'd like an explanation. I'd also like you to verify what he told me last night.
Verify what?
That you've begun menopause.
What? Why did you say that to her?
I told her out of my own frustration and the concern and the helplessness that I was feeling about the whole thing.
But you're the one that suggested that. I mean, I haven't. Did I say something about it?
Sweetheart, last night, that's what triggered the whole thing. Don't you remember that? You were sitting there describing the symptoms that you were having, the hot flashes, the headaches, dizziness, shortness of breath, and then you started crying, and you got depressed. The whole thing escalated. I didn't know what to do.
I don't remember any of that.
Maybe it didn't happen.
It happened. I'm just sorry I told you. I should have talked to Sophia about it later when she was in a better state of mind. I have nothing to hide, so why don't you go ahead and finish your little private talk?
Mom, I'm not coming down on you. I am concerned about Ken. I want to make sure that you see him clearly for the man that I think he is. He has not been married just once, he's been married twice. Both of those women have died. Now, I don't know what that means. It just makes me feel very uneasy about the situation. Can you understand that?
All right, Ned, you listen to me. You and the whole family have been making these ugly, nasty accusations about Ken for a long time, and I know where it started. It's probably started with your father,
No,
but I don't want to hear any more about it from you.
That is not fair. I'm not trying to hurt you.
I want you to apologize to him.
I'm not going to apologize for something that I think you need to hear. I think you also have to get the answers to some very important questions. One of which is, why was Ken at Andy's the night that you fell and hit your head? He didn't tell you about that, did he? Mom. How am I supposed to feel about this? You're taking these weird pills. I find you drinking all the time. Your behavior is strange. You're not the mom that I know.
Kelly, I am not taking pills anymore at all. I'm on no medication. I'm not and I got drunk on champagne last night. So what? So what's the crime?
I'm just fighting a losing battle here, aren't I? Because I can tell you what I feel till I'm blue in the face. I can't make you do anything about it. All I can do is express to you what I feel to be the truth. What you do with that is your business.
I don't want to argue with you. I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to be angry with you. I don't want you to be angry with me. And I want you to know that I'm just fine. I really am.
I love you. Just be careful, okay? Remember, you can call me any time of the day or night. All right?
All right. Why didn't you tell me you were married twice?
I remember the first time I laid eyes on you. You were a hell of a sexy guy. I'm sorry I ran out like that. I just don't know what I'll do if I lose you.
Hello? Hey, Sawyer, how you doing? Well, you know, okay, we're managing. Yeah, she's right here. Hang on.
Hi, honey. No, there's no word yet, but we'll call you. Look, I really hate to be abrupt, sweetheart, but we'd like to keep the line clear. Yes, I'll let you know as soon as we know anything. I promise, sweetheart. Okay, bye-bye.
Joe, I want to ask you something, and I'm just going to ask it straight out. And I promise I'm not going to get emotional or start chewing on the walls or anything.
Okay.
I know you tried to explain it to me before, what happened between you and Cruz. And I was just a little too upset to listen, so if you wouldn't mind, I'd love for you to run that by me again.
What do you want me to explain?
How it happened, and how long it went on.
was just one moment of one day. Race, that's all. Cruz and I had just found out about Timmy Hughes, that he had died in Vietnam. And it was so shocking because he was a good friend, and he was the first person we knew who was our age who had died in that stinking war. And you weren't there, you were at football camp. So Cruz and I were alone in that moment of grief, that moment of loneliness and incredible loss. We found this sort of sexual energy. But it was the only time in this world that it would have or could have happened between us.
Why didn't you tell me?
I knew if I told you, you'd leave me. And I loved you. I don't know, I guess maybe I was young and selfish, but I was determined to preserve what it was we had. And I knew that if I told you, I knew how hurt you would be, and I knew how much Cruz loved you, and we would have lost all that. Can you understand that? Do you think that you could find it in your heart to ever forgive me?
How did you find me?
I just had a hunch you might want to go someplace to reminisce. Since this is where we first met. Is this mine?
Yeah. Yeah. You're a hell of a writer. You know, when this is all over, I was thinking about when I first read this journal, when you were living in that drain pipe you called a home.
I was so mad at you. But then I was always angry. That was the first thing you noticed about me.
Yeah. I can't believe what I didn't notice.
How could you have missed it?
You're innocent. And I love you.
Before you tell me about your second wife, I want to know about something else. Why were you at Andy's the night I fell down and hit my head?
That's it! I've had it! I am sick to death of this. Yes, I was at Andy's that night for 1 minute. I'd gone out to get some groceries, and I thought I'd come back and drop some business papers off. Reese Walker was there. And I knew he had just separated from his wife. I felt like I was intruding on some sort of fling they were having, and I was embarrassed as hell, and I couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. I didn't mention it to you, because I didn't think it was polite to gossip about our employees and what they were doing with their spare time, and with whom!
Please, just calm down, please. I am so sorry. I apologize. I would have handled it, Ken, exactly the way you handled it. I had no idea. I will not mention it again. I'm sorry.
Right, okay, well, whatever, yeah. And now I have to answer another question, right?
Yes, because it's important to me. You told me you were married. You told me there was a woman in Texas and she had died. Why didn't you tell me about another marriage?
Come here. I didn't tell you because my first wife was my high school sweetheart. Her name was Valerie. We met when we were 15, and we got married when we were 19. Henry Longfellow said that there is nothing holier in this life of ours than the first consciousness of love. That described Valerie and me. We were blissfully in love. I love you very deeply, but I don't think that I will ever love that passionately again. After about 2 years of marriage, she was hospitalized with a rare blood disorder, followed by 2 years of specialist treatments, operations, more specialist. And it looked like she was getting better, and she died. It almost destroyed me. I was wiped out. And the loss was so great, I never spoke to anyone about it.
So sorry. Baby, I'm so sorry Kelly had to bring that up and make you talk about it.
I don't blame Kelly. I don't think that Kelly would be as paranoid if Cece hadn't stepped in. Cece has turned your entire family against me.
You are the most beautiful, sensitive, wonderful man that I have ever met. And I promise you this, that not Cece, nor my daughter, nor anyone will come between us. Ken.
What?
Head is just killing me. It's just
Sweetheart.
killing me. Is there any... Could I have one of those pills, do you think?
Are you sure?
Oh, yes. Please.
All right. Just one. Just some.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
If I have to go to prison, I don't expect you to wait for me.
Well, don't worry, I'm not going to be waiting. I'm going to be doing whatever it takes to get you out. But that's not going to happen, BJ. I don't believe that. I don't want you to believe that either. The jury's going to know the truth. You're going to be acquitted.
I pray that you're right.
Julia, any idea? I'm not sure, but we will find out soon.
Take a seat, please. Court will convene in just a few minutes.
What time is it? I've got to go to the hospital.
Oh, no. I called the hospital, and Ted's fine. It was actually just a simple fracture. He was sleeping very peacefully. I think that you actually should take the day off and relax.
Oh, it sounds very tempting. Do you think Ted will be angry with me if I don't go?
Sweetheart, if your son's ever had a hangover, believe me, he'll understand. Now, I've got you as a captive audience, and there's some papers that I need for you to sign, okay?
I've got to read them. I really haven't got. I just can't. My head is hurting. I don't know what's wrong with me. Do you think that I could have another pill?
No, absolutely not. It's a bad idea. No. Look, why don't you just have a glass of water? You're probably just dehydrated.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. There we go. Okay. Now, this is the go-ahead for the spring line, okay?
Yeah.
It's only about 4 pages. I'll just read it to you.
Oh, Ken.
What?
As much as I love to hear your voice, I can't take listening to 4 pages of business jargon right now. I can't do it. You can just let me, I'll sign it. You know what you're doing.
All right, well.
Where?
Right here. Right there. Great. Okay.
I really apologize to you that you've had to do all the business today and work on this. I'll be back. I'll be back working.
Sweetheart.
The company.
Don't worry about it. It's my company, too.
Hi.
Oh,
Has
hi.
the jury been seated yet?
No.
Oh, God, I'm so nervous about this verdict.
Well, whatever it is, it's out of our hands now.
I keep wondering if maybe there was just one more thing that I could have done.
Well, if there was, it would have happened this morning.
Why do you say that?
Because the jury requested to review the Rachel Ann series that BJ wrote.
What do you think that means?
Maybe they think that she was molested, and they're looking to find out the extent of her suffering. And they're looking for clues.
Do you think they might believe that Frank didn't commit suicide?
It's possible. Maybe they're not buying first-degree murder either.
This whole thing makes me feel so helpless.
No matter what the outcome, you kept your promise to Cruz. You did everything you could for BJ.
So did you. More than anyone else. I'll never forget that. You were really quite wonderful.
Well, I appreciate your kind words. Now, if there was some way we could stop sidestepping each other, maybe this could lead, well, to something. Well, I don't need an answer now. This isn't the place. You've got a friend in there whose fate is on the line. So what do you say we go learn that fate together?
Okay.
All rise. The Superior Court of Santa Barbara is now in session. The Honorable Judge Mason Capwell presiding.
Be seated. The jury has reached a verdict. Bailiff, would you show the jury in, please? Mr. Foreman, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
She killed her best friend in a jealous rage. The victim's mother, shattered by the murder of her teenage daughter, took in the best friend for mutual consolation, unaware she was befriending her daughter's killer. Meet both the victim's mother and the best friend via satellite from prison, where she is serving time for the murder. Today at 3 on Donahue. Now stay tuned for Days of Our Lives, followed by Another World, here only on NBC.